This feels like a match that both these two teams can sink their teeth into. I'm so excited to see who gets off running first.
Grosjean is your first server. Ball underneath, good pass. And Sarah Franklin, the 2023 National Player of the Year with the first kill in the match.
Yeah, she's been so impressive to watch. I love that she's got all that experience from the USA, and she's headed to play in Italy next season, which tells you already what kind of player she is.
Back set, blocked back. That's Igidi and Logan Eggleston combined.
Pretty much perfect timing on that block, and that's something I feel has been missing on USA's side, is they've been getting all the blocks. In fact, they've been blocked 25 times in the last couple of matches, so for them to get one, that is clutch.
Perfect pass for Czech, and again, it's another big block. Amber Igidi closing the door.
Yeah, how important is the first couple of points in a match like this? When you've got two teams that are hungry for a win, you have to start out the gate firing, and that's exactly what USA is doing.
They have closed the door of the United States, and it is Igidi's specialty. Ball's down. Morgan Hentz cannot be controlled. People will remember Morgan Hentz as a standout multi-time NCAA champion from Stanford. We often refer to the way she covers the court as Hentzville, because the whole thing is her town.
Yeah, population 1, that's the last place you want to be if you're an offensive player trying to attack and find the floor, because she's always there, but unlucky this time, and Czech get that first point.
Pass by Eggleston, and this will be the first ball back to Lednicki. Up the middle, we call that a BIC, or a back row quick. We've seen it no matter the team score quite a bit already this year.
And you know that a team is in system if they're running with some speed. Grosjean is one of those players who looks a little bit extra spice on her set, so that one's not hanging in the air too long, but she can just get on top of it and try to beat the block.
Feliciani serving. And now it goes the other way. Big time block. That's Branchuska. She's only 20 years old, Monica Branchuska, and she had 12 attack points versus Brazil.
Yeah, you'd never know that she's never played outside of the Czech. When she presses over like that, she has such a dominance in those shoulders.
Trouble pass, Kahaina Torres chases it down. Blasting through, picked up again by Eggleston. Back again, that, they're looking for a touch and they will not get there.
Yeah, just wide, but I still like that kind of attack. I like the attempt to do that on the first place, to set that ball so far back. It's a little inside, and that's why she went long with it, but the blockers did a good job to take away their space.
Middle, that's Magda. Ball is out. Reducing error is going to be key. For each of these teams, it's been a problem for USA where they've shot themselves in the foot in the first 2 matches.
Yeah, and I'm surprised to see it from Lednicki early on, because we saw her numbers, her efficiency in that last couple of matches. She's over 90%, so that one's unusual from her.
In the cage, big swing, but a bigger dig. And the USA Heavy Roofing Company is back with the block.
Yeah, that's the McCage effect right there at the net. We saw her in the 3rd set against Italy be much more dominant and have control and kind of look like we're used to seeing her. That's what it is. When she's low and tight, she gets that movement in time. She looks really confident.
If the fans at home are listening to this crowd, you will know this is a very pro-Czech crowd. Is it filled with people from Czech? No. They just root against the United States here, and the USA loves it, no matter who they're playing. Versus Italy, they rooted for Italy. Versus Brazil, obviously.
I kind of love that, too. That means that there's something to play for. That means they're nervous, Brazilian fans.
Well, I know that Molly McCage, the middle for USA, said playing in Brazil is a bucket list for her.
Yeah, and that's a lot saying, considering she's touched a couple of those bucket lists already, playing multiple years pro in the USA as well as overseas.
She was going across, got caught, put up a nice pass. Down the line, Eggleston silences the crowd.
Yeah, Eggleston, when she gets a chance to, she has such a heavy arm. So if that ball's hanging in the air, even it looks as if the block got there in time. I mean, it's Magda there who's just reaching in, but to go outside of the outside hand of the block, that's perfection.
Eggleston and her setter, Sage Kahina-Torres, won an NCAA championship together at Texas. A lot of experience, a very strong connection there. Eric Sullivan was the associate head coach during that time at Texas. In fact, there were 4 players that won that national championship together that are here. Madison Skinner was on that team, as well as Zoe Fleck.
Feels like Texas versus the world here at this VNL.
I think that Texas head coaches love that.
Yeah.
First turn down the line. Pulled into the middle was Franklin. Tell me about this shot, Keith.
I mean, this is one of the hardest shots to hit because she's not even in her zone. She's basically past where the middle is. So she's had to come in and use that court vision to get around the block and see the ball at the same time.
USA, though, this is what we talked about in terms of shooting yourself in the foot, back-to-back, and there's a difference between serves that go long and serves that go in the center of the net.
Yeah, especially if you're a coach, you'd rather see that ball go long. At least the players on the other side have a chance to touch it, but that's now 5 errors from the USA, and we're not even halfway through the first set.
Nice pass. And Franklin, she loves a cross-court shot, and what fans will notice is how much sharper it gets with each swing.
Yeah, and she's getting it, right? That's that ball right where she wants it in her wheelhouse, and the blockers are kind of lining up according to what she wants to do, and she's just going the opposite way.
Missed set, but no problem on contact. Lednicki. Couldn't it be played by the ref? And so a good point for the lefty.
Yeah, I'd say he's probably past his prime playing years.
But off, a little smile.
Yeah, but I do like the idea of Lednicki there to go high for hands because we talked about how much they've been blocked. I want to see them be smarter in this particular match to go against hands in particular.
Hence. Ball's up, all options available on that pass, and Lednicki off the block, but it touched her, and so it will be a checkpoint.
Yeah, you'd have to be part of the Matrix family to move out of the way fast enough because she's still basically finishing her swing when that ball comes right back at her. Groza with a perfect finish back into the court.
They're keeping the ball on Logan Eggleston, and that's no problem for her. Her passes have been rock solid. Hence, it's a tough angle, and Eric Sullivan talked to us about their auto-system setting. Down the line. Begrinova, no problem picking that up, and then a use of the block. That'll tie us back up at 10 apiece.
Yeah, the Czech are really taking advantage of when the USA does make those unforced errors that we talked about, not just in the serve, but like you mentioned, that tight ball. So the Czech gets a chance, they're going again, and I like the way they're being really gritty against this USA team.
Another perfect pass, options available. Perfect pass, perfect to the middle.
Yeah, it's the team that handles that first ball contact the best is the team that's going to win, period. Because if you're able to run all of your options like this, look at this tsunami of offense coming. There's front court, there's back court, everything's there, and the blockers on the other side are just flabbergasted.
Outside, big swing, and no good. Malenkova, 28 years old, highly decorated. She plays in Italy, one of the top places in Europe for sure, the top place in Europe to play. She's played in 7 countries. She's experienced.
Yeah, so good work by USA to force her out.
That time into the block. When you try to recycle, and nobody was behind you to pick it up. That's so frustrating for a hitter because you want to swing away.
Yeah, you'll turn around and go, where's my help, guys? Where is everyone?
Hey, just now, one side out. Look at me. They serve over here to Micaela. Watch out if she do a drop. Don't neck. Okay? And then again, you have the options. Hey, guys, one side down, we continue fight. Watch out. From Kappa 8, we have to take this as a fastball. They really speed up. So, position 5, don't go like out of system. Come a little bit here. And here we try to read the tip and try to pull, okay? Ella, go! Ella!
Cadê a torcida dos Estados Unidos? E a torcida da Czechia?
After the timeout, we heard the coach of Czechoslovakia trying to urge his team to be a little bit cleaner with their play. It is a 3-point run from the United States that got him there.
Yeah, Czech looking to be a little more clinical, right? The USA has put pressure on them. They've made those mistakes, but they're forcing the swings to go wide, to go higher, to go around that big block. So now the Czechs having to find different ways to answer that block.
Down the line, and that'll be an ace serve for the Czech team.
Much needed as well, as they're just trying to close that gap. So I love going for the sideline anytime you have a chance, and it's deep enough. It's right there on the shoulder. There's nothing that a player can do but try and get out of the way or step behind it.
Feliciani serving again. Perfect for Morgan Hentz. A misconnect, if you will, for Sarah Franklin in the backcourt, and blocked by Magda.
Yeah, and if she's gonna do that block, she has to do it a little deeper, a little higher, because she's hanging in the air, and Magda just waiting, defying gravity. I mean, we've seen how good she can be there. You can't put it right in her hands.
The other thing to watch out for with Magda is her offense. We're talking about number 15. There she is in the Czech team. She had 9 points versus Brazil, the second leading scorer. 7 attacks out of the middle. Any middle would like that, wouldn't they, Key?
I would love a couple of attacks like that, but the thing is, she's one of those effective and dynamic middles that are available at any time. You're talking like a Molly McCage as well, that's going to be up, available even in out-of-system plays.
For our fans that aren't aware, Key Michael played in the 2012 Olympics for England.
That was just last year, right?
Yeah, sure it was. So she's got a little bit of love, extra love for middles.
Yeah, you got to give love to middles. I mean, look how hard they're working to move and get in the way of different attackers. I mean, I know that it's harder maybe to receive a ball, but a lot of legwork happening with the middles.
Branchuska. Franklin puts it in Kahaina Torres' hands, and it makes it so smooth. Back to Lednicki.
Again, a player that's going to be utilized and really heavily relied on this USA side, even when things are going well. I love feeding her up when they're in system as well, because that's the way to keep the blockers on the other side guessing.
Logan Lednicki will return to Texas A&M. She is one of 2 players still playing NCAA volleyball in the United States, along with Olivia Badcock from Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and that's what's so fun about this USA team, is that there are such youngsters that, you know, the college game is at such a high level that they can compete internationally, even if you've never heard their names before. When you've been watching the Olympics, trust me, these women have been playing at a high level over the last few years, their entire lives probably.
Back, slide, Hentz read it all the way. It's a little bit of a blind, and it was well handled. When it's coming over your shoulder like that, Eggleston put it in play to live to swing another day. Wow. This is what the Czech coaching staff wanted to see.
Yeah, some grittiness, some fight, and especially on a play like that where that ball's just hanging up in the air. USA's given kind of a freebie there, but put it on the middle of the net, and I love that Vakova just goes up and grabs it. She has no fear. They don't have fear, right? This is their first time in the VNL. They're playing for all the marbles.
Ball just wide. a break. It was tied at 10-10. USA went up 13-10, and then Czech called a timeout, and it really reinvigorated this team.
Yeah, they're looking like they have a lot on the line to play for, and I think they don't have to worry too much about the scoreline. I want to see both these two teams, in fact, try some things out.
Beautiful dig by Kahane Torres. This ball is still very much in play. Free ball, how will you convert? With an error. Those are the ones that kill you.
Yeah, it stings because both teams working so hard in the defensive play that you called out on USA's side to get a free ball that's beating the block. Franklin has that wide open line. She's really trying to force it there, just out by a couple of inches.
Sage Kahane Torres calls her own number.
Oh, I love an aggressive setter, and especially because the blockers on the other side have to be paying attention to her. They're already having to call out if she's front court, but if you miss an opportunity to block a front court setter, that's going to sting for the middle blockers on the other side for the rest of the match.
Ronnie Jones-Perry has a very heavy serve, so even though she's not playing outside today, they use her as a serving sub. Ball's up. Who's going to put it over? Eggleston does. Here's a free ball for Czech. Another beautiful dig. It's error back to back for USA. They've completely let Czech catch up.
Yeah, they're trying to force a couple of things, and what's interesting is that even when things look like they're in system, like we saw a free ball there, those errors really are unforced. It's not that the Czech are putting any pressure on them in that particular moment.
With this serve, Czech looking to tie it up at 18.
So far, I really like what we've seen from both these two teams. Neither team has really gotten a momentum run yet, but they're kind of trying out a few different things and adding speed to the offense, which I think is going to be the key.
There was a slight delay at the scorer's table. It gave these teams to regroup, have a little bit of communication. Ball up, trying to chase it down. Franklin needs to adjust. Anytime you hit something off speed at this level of competition, it makes it far easier for the opponent. Ajiti just gets out of the way. Franklin tries that line again. Now we've had 3 consecutive errors by the United States.
Yeah, she's really trying to work that line, which I think is a good idea. If you look at the way that the block is set up, that space is there for the taking. I just want to see maybe that ball's not quite landing wide enough. It's not quite reaching the antenna, so she's trying to force it, but by the time it gets there, it's too low, and there's not really much she can do.
Valkova continuing her service run. More trouble. Oh, brought back. Well done by Lednicki. Valkova goes back, and it is pound town from 20-year-old Monika Branchiska.
She has been showing sparks of absolute greatness, and that's what we saw from her just a couple of nights ago, is when she gets the chance to really clamor it home, she will.
Again, deep breath, reset. First contact her. Hey, trans, okay? Go back there, take a rip, okay? Be aggressive in trans. Middle of the court, 15 is not following, okay? So, middles, gaps are great. Against 8, we can go right up the gut, go front 1, okay? Doing some real good jobs. Okay? Come on.
USA! USA!
United States just called their first timeout after a run by Czech. They're only down by 1 in a first set. This win prediction, so tight.
I know. I love this addition this year to see that win prediction, because you can follow it as the match goes, and you see that graph kind of shifting back and forth. It's really fun to follow.
Valkova continues her service run. USA needs to get her off the back line. That ball out. Well done by Lednicki. Again, it's the left-handed player attacking the block that's sending it out of bounds.
Yeah, and that's a harder block to make because you have to adjust to a different style and you got to bring your ball in a little bit, your block in a little bit against that attack.
Hence, doing the work, sitting right in it. Another tip from Franklin. You don't want to see her be tentative because Branchuska certainly won't be.
Yeah, she is one of those players which I called her out in the beginning of the match because we got to keep our eyes on her. She's been playing pretty much the entire time Czech has been, even in the friendly matches against Germany before this match, before this VNL, because she can do things like that, go cross court and find those angles.
Torres brought it back. Tip is down, and that's why she's a three-time NCAA champion. Saves like that by Hens.
Yeah, the save is there, the effort is there, and that's Team USA looking to be scrappy, but the Czech team finding ways to make it difficult on USA, and one of them being that push tip right into the middle back. A lot of defense happening on both sides. I gotta give credit to that libero action as well. But look at the push right in the middle back. It's causing some confusion there between the two defenders.
There's some moisture on the court that they want to get cleaned up because, of course, Morgan Hens laid out on the floor.
As she tends to do.
Yeah, and it's for safety, but it also can be a momentum breaker. That's not why they're calling it. She laid out on the floor. But since Czech has taken the lead, they keep serving Hens. She passes beautifully, and this time, Franklin, power to the corner.
Well, you said they didn't call that time, or they didn't take that time on purpose, but I'm sure that Morgan Hens has a couple of sneaky moves in her because you saw that power come off of Groser's serve, made it a little easier for her to handle the first contact, and that's a point immediately converted.
I was giving her the benefit of the doubt, right? Now it's a Czech error. We're locked at 21, 4 points left to the finish line. What's going to make the difference, Keith?
I think serving, aggressive from that first contact. Both these two teams are looking good when they're in system, when they have all their options. And when they don't, those high balls, so much easier for the blocker. So whichever team can take the reins on the serve is what's going to go the distance.
Outside, power bursting through the block. Igidi sets. It's still up. Czech started to celebrate. Now they can celebrate.
Yeah, they had to work for it, that's for sure. The defense on the USA side, making sure they were popping that up. But here's why it's so hard to play against a team when that ball is high. The blockers pretty well closed, making sure that gap is there, and then it's almost a one-on-one when Czech's taking the swing and going down the line with precision.
Back again, Lednicki powering through.
That's what you want to see. When the USA can capture the block of the Czech side, being a little bit late, and Magda, you don't see her late very often, but she's reaching towards the outside, and that gives just a little bit of space to sneak through.
Amber Igidi played her collegiate volleyball or NCAA volleyball at the University of Hawaii. And it's Molly McCage and Logan Eggleston, two different generations, if you will, at Texas, both national champions on this block.
I mean, that looks like a national championship block. Doesn't matter who you are or where you're from. That is really well formed as well because they're not exactly together in their hips, but their hands are.
Okay, watch out. The outside hitter is opening your hands. You understand me? You can even go here. First tempo. She took a step. Okay, guys, hey! It happened already 2 times. You're bringing it back, okay? Side down, Dana, let's go!
A little listen inside the huddle with Czech's coach, Asanasolopoulos. He's asking for fire.
Yeah, he wants a lot out of this team.
Czech leading USA in this first set 23-22. Amber Igidi at the service line. He has said that service pressure is going to make the difference. We'll see. Not much pressure applied there. A perfect pass, but a great dig by Kahaina Torres. Free ball to the United States. Kahaina Torres feeds Molly McCage. And now again, it will be Branchuska, who has been devastating for a Czech.
She plays beyond her age. She's still so young at just 20 years old, but she was the best of the Czech League. Look at the way that she handles things on her side. She is cutting inside of a Molly McCage block, and that is not an easy thing to do. I think most people will know that by now.
$23-all. Will they keep serving Morgan Hentz?
I don't think that's the best idea. Hentzville handles the ball, if nothing else.
And they did go away. They went to Logan Eggleston, Molly McCage defending up top. That's Molly McCage's net.
Yeah.
She didn't want anybody else near it.
It's not just her net, it's her world. We're just living in it. Molly McCage is one of the elite middle blockers for the USA, not just in this team, but in the professional leagues as well. She's been voted one of the best middle blockers over there multiple times, and that is why, because she can get those blocks.
The Czech coach asking for a challenge, saying, did Molly McCage reach over the plane of the net?
Yes,
it's
yes.
really about whether
Yes,
it was still
Mariam,
playable
yes, this image is
for
perfect.
Czech at that point. We'll see.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll have to get the eagle eye of all the cameras that are on us, but I like an aggressive middle. I like one that goes and grabs the ball before it's even in your time zone. And that for me, that's perfectly clean.
Definitely not. Even after the contact, she didn't go across, and this technology is due to Bolt 6. They don't miss a thing.
Set point.
And with that, it is set point USA, looking to win their first set of Volleyball Nations League 2025. And they do. Team USA takes the first set, a close one. It's their first set win of the season.
That is huge for the USA. They needed it, right? We talked about how hungry they were going to be to get this win. They're a young team. They haven't yet spent a lot of time together. So to be able to get this, I'm not going to call it a victory, but a little small battle has been won, and that's just getting that feeling of winning.
She who reduces her errors are having most success. And again, be Sage Kahaina Torres starting things off for the second set. Czech scores the first point of set number 2. A big key of the success in the United States side for the first set was that Logan Eggleston was targeted, and she was passing 62%. That's a phenomenal passing number.
Yeah, I think the better the pass is, the better you're going to be able to play volleyball. So if USA is handling what Czech are trying to be their toughest serves, they are wanting to get USA out of system. They're wanting to target the front court attacker. So if Eggleston's handling that well, that's such a good sign for USA.
The Team USA serve receive passed 62%. There was a foot fault on Sarah Franklin on the serve. Those are the things that the United States needs to clean up.
Yeah, I think that if they cut those errors out, and I don't think that's something difficult to do, you just take one step back before you serve. Without those, we could have a much less even ball game.
Back, Lednicki. They call that dirty volleyball over here. What does that mean?
I mean, I don't know how dirty it is. I think that's,
well, yeah, go ahead.
I don't think that's necessarily dirty. I think it's more like clever, because I think dirty is more like if you're perfectly in system and then you just tip it right over. She was a little out of system there. She kind of had to tip.
Well, that's filthy, right? A net tape ace. That's just pure karma.
Yeah, anytime you can get the net to help you out when you're trying to serve, you're always in a good spot there, and that's a middle's absolute nightmare.
Like, she's like, what do you want me to do? I'm not usually passing, but okay. Outside. The approach has so much power in it from Malenkova. She's 28 years old. The power when she's coming in like a freight train, you want to get on your heels.
Yeah, look at her body as well. She sees she's got one-on-one. She absolutely powers it cross court. Uses a little bit of wrist and thumb down, but that's mostly just full momentum with the body.
Malenkova is the leading scorer on either side of the floor. She has 7 points, all of them from attacks. For contact, so one of the balls did not get a touch from the United States. It was played, it hit off the net.
Yeah, I think that's what I saw as well. So Czech's arguing it, but in real time, I'm pretty sure I saw 4 contacts. We might see a challenge. I don't know if it's worth it. At least some conversation there, but USA can at least use this as a time to regroup and keep their momentum forward, because they've been playing pretty good volleyball so far when they've been getting the opportunity to do it.
After a brief confirmation, point remains with the United States. Door closed. McCage centering the block.
There's nothing that feels better than a straight down block. Look how Molly has to reach to the other side. So they've decided they're going to take away that zone 1. They're not going to let her attack there, and that's perfectly executed.
Finding that back third of the court, scooped up by Sarah Franklin. Logan Eggleston tags it down the line.
She's been trying to find that line. She and Franklin have been searching for it all day long, and if it starts to come and it's starting to look a little more fluid now, that's what's open, right? Czech have left just a sliver there, and you can see how if you're able to hit it, that's going to be a point every time.
There's a lot at stake here. We're talking about these teams looking for their first win. There's also world ranking points at stake. For Czech, they can get, if they were to sweep the USA, which isn't happening, so let's say they won 3-1, they would get almost 15 world ranking points. If it flips the other way and the United States sweeps Czech, they get only 2.51.
Come on, that's an easy ball there. You have to work with your right. These serve guys with good backspin, it's very easy to receive. Magda, the ball is low. Try to make a tip, guys. We have to control our emotions. Hey, we cannot kill all the balls. We have to play with them. Hella, guys! Hey, put your ego up, Hella!
Asanastopoulos has that passion. It's great to listen to him in the huddle, because he says, here's what we need to do, here's what we need to do. And then he has this like ending, fire up now, let's just go.
I mean, I love to see the way the coaches' different styles are in the timeouts. I mean, we see that passion there, but on the USA side, it's totally different. It's calm, it's just communication. There's 4 or 5 coaches in there trying to add information. Just, it's cool that we get that mic in there and those cameras so we can see it.
Gotta feed Magda as often as you can. She is the straw that serves Czech's drink. Stirs Czech's drink.
I'll be sipping from that drink if I get to hang out with Magda. She's been so impressive in the last couple of days. I love seeing her do that cross over her shoulder attack.
Czech has gone away from serving Morgan Hentz, keeping it on Sarah Franklin, which is probably a better plan. From the backcourt, they put the ball to Lednicki. It's a little different receiving it over your shoulder as a setter. And then that's with authority. It's Branchuska again.
Again, she seems to be putting the stamp on a lot of rallies in this match, and that's because she has the dynamic range. She can go line, she can go cross. We've seen her every single time it's been power. So I wonder if we're going to see some changes in the blocks there. Just try and take away a little bit more space from her.
That's the worst. When you get blocked, it's going out of bounds, and it bounces off of you. We've seen it twice against Lednicki and McCage today.
Yeah, it's tough because Grozer's just camping out on McCage. They know how she loves to run a slide. That's her favorite attack. So Grozer's not going anywhere. She's in the front row.
Kana Torres calls her own number for the 2nd time today. What's the advantage to a setter attacking.
I mean, if she's front court and she gets offensive, she's putting all the blockers on their toes for the rest of the match. So they already have to pay attention to all of the attackers that she's got. Now they have to look at her as well and make sure she's not getting any quick and easy points.
Czech trouble on that serve, but out of system, no problem, and it's Roser again.
Her confidence is growing. Not that she needs much more. Like I said, she's been around the world and pretty much played at the highest level for the last decade. But she's finding ways to score inside of, again, a Molly McCage inside arm, which is not the easiest thing to do.
Eggleston brings that back in. It's a good serve to the sideline. Franklin gets it down the line. She's been trying to get that line shot.
She's been hunting for it. She's been fishing for it. And I love that they keep trying, because I don't think you should go away from that. If you see in that angle there, from that camera angle, how much line's available, keep trying, keep working it.
Brought back in, beautiful pace. Slowed down by the block. Well, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, right? I mean, she's had a lot of success with that. That one kind of off the tape, I think.
Yeah. Well, we know that USA is trying to work that big, right? So even if it's not pretty volleyball every time, if they can add that into the repertoire, it's just one more feather in the hat.
That's a tough ball, Molly McCage. That was the rotation in which there is no libero on the floor when the middle blocker serves. So Morgan Hentz now back on the floor. That was in Hentzville, but it's not in the rest of the Humansville.
Not in Mollyville, not McCageville.
No, and you want to go with your left hand for that, on your outside hand, instead of going with your right hand to bring that ball in. It's just shorter.
Stings. I feel like one of the things for the USA, communication is pretty good so far. That's the first time we've really seen two players, and I'm surprised. Normally Morgan Hentz would just sprint and just push anyone out of the way to get a ball up. So that's just coming from not having played a lot of time together. Those kind of things won't happen down the stretch later on in this VNL.
Yes, there are 4 weeks total, each for the men and for the women. 3 weeks preliminary, and then the top 8 teams make the finals. Women's finals are going to be in Łódź, Poland. Little samba.
Have a look at that spike speed as well. 75 miles per hour. We're
Kilometers per hour.
Oh, excuse me, you're exactly right. That's I get it confused as well. What time zone are we in?
Who knows? That I don't know. Hentz, perfect pass with tempo, allows them to run the slide. Great things happen when the pass is solid.
Yeah, you've got to get that first contact nailed in, dialed in, whatever you want to say. And USA's been handling it pretty well, but I feel as though staying away from Hentz is going to be on the mind of all the Czech players. It has to be part of their tactics, so when they forget that, they will be punished.
Middle, long. It was in on the back line. Eric Sullivan, I think, is going to challenge that play.
I might have just tagged the end line. We didn't really get a full look at it there. All the coaches pretty sure it was out. From real time, I thought it was out too, but my understanding is that we have Bolt 6 giving the official calling and there's no challenge of it.
Yeah, he put his fingers together like he was going to ask for one, and Ivanov's was like, nope. Okay, Branchuska now has become the leading scorer for any team on the floor. What has made her so difficult for the USA to defend?
Well, she's peppering the court in different angles. That time you saw her go way inside the block, but she's done a little bit of everything.
USA calls a timeout.
We got to bring it in a little bit. Challenge them to hit some line. Middles, you guys got to get real disciplined. Square up and drop in. All right, let's take that sharp a little bit. And then we got to look further sharp on 25. Right backs, like all the way on the 10-foot line, I think. She hasn't hit anything deep to the corner. Let's get underneath and scoop that ball. Hey, little reset here. right? Get our bearings, let's get back out
It's
there.
just been on out of system ball, so let's talk about seeing that set inside and line it up just a little bit better. Okay. Let's go. USA! USA!
Hearing three-time NCAA champion Morgan Hens add a couple of things at the end. She is one of the players who has VNL experience for this team. You heard USA head coach Eric Sullivan saying, challenge them to hit line. He's talking about Branchuska, who has been having her way across court.
Yeah, they've kind of been having their way all over the court. I think he wants more discipline just in general, right? The middle blocker has to get that inside arm way over and cut off any angles.
Speaking of angles, Amber Igidi goes crossbody for the kill. Locked at 12s.
Yeah, that's exactly how the USA wants to play. Just enough speed to be able to involve those middles, and it's going to be a one-on-one. Magda's doing her best to try and play catch-up, but too fast.
Picked up by Franklin. Risky set, setting Igidi, but she made it work. That's a recycle, a soft into the hands to get a chance to swing better. Kahina Torres outside to Eggleston. Beautiful pickup by Valkova. Branchuska. Didn't we just talk about taking away her line, her cross?
Yeah, and she's, like I said, playing beyond her years, so she has that volleyball IQ to look through the net, see what the blockers are doing, and go in the opposite direction. Even from this ball that's coming way off the net, it's inside, and it's just a throw of the hand, and that's enough to cause chaos on the USA side.
When you have a hitter who has the Midas touch, some setters will just keep feeding her for a while. Some want to distribute her around, others feed the kitty. And in this case, the kitty is Branchuska.
The kitty's got to eat. Kitty's hungry, and she's young, and she has all of her rest of her career to play, and she's really proving what she can do at this level. I love to see on both sides of the court some fresh faces in this VNL that are really getting a chance to shine.
Valkova outside, just a rip. Beautiful for Malenkova. She's the captain of this team and showing it with her bravery on the swing.
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of middle attack out of Czech's side, but that's because it's just going forward, backward, and the blockers on USA's side are just trying to follow that puppet on a string.
I'll point it out to the viewers the next time it happens, but again, it was when Morgan Hens was off the court. They attacked the middle blocker defensively.
Yeah, 100%. That's always a good idea. The middle blocker, we're good at some things, but maybe not defense is not high up there.
They just don't get as much practice at it.
That's
First of all, blocking is defense, so
okay,
yeah.
You're right.
And you're great at that part.
We'll take it.
Led Nikki down the line. Takes the setter off the net a bit. Hence, a free ball to Czech, and a misconnect with Magda, but there's where you see that this team has not been playing together. You go, I go. Who goes?
Yeah, the miscommunication, we saw it earlier with Hens as well. Just a couple of hesitations, but that can make the difference at this level when you're trying to really make a split-second decision and move quickly. You just don't have time to look at your teammate and say, is it yours or is it mine? And Magda, that was not the best of attacks. Just she was on a stutter step and still able to score.
Part of the issue is that Sage Kahina Torres is an elite defender. So Morgan Hens is used to going and getting all those balls because most setters won't touch that first ball. And honestly, she shouldn't.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you called out, is that once they play a little more together, once they get to know each other and they have those reps in the gym and on the court, that won't happen.
Yeah, everybody will know Hensville's sphere. Eggleston puts it right in the hands of Kahina Torres, and that's the slide to McCage.
And I'm looking at Grozer's face afterwards. She's a little frustrated because the one she got blocked before, she was right there. It's pretty much rinse and repeat, but I love the way McCage reacts there, right? She last time swung into the block. This time she's going sharp enough cross that she's going underneath it. And it's only a one-on-one, so you've got enough space if you can make that angle happen.
Ace serve. Eggleston does everything well. She passes well, she serves well, she attacks well, and defends.
And this was an overdue ace. I love that Eggleston is going with that flat serve. She's not putting any spin on it. It is so difficult to read.
Send it back, Sarah Franklin and Molly McCage.
I love a good block, Anne-Marie. There is nothing that feeds my bones more than a good block, and even if it has nothing to do with the middle like this one.
Czech called the timeout.
Don't let the ball drop. We're high enough to go. It's possible to score. Go. Hey, hey! Go. One side down. Believe. Let's go. Ella, let's go. Ella!
The passion of the Greek coach. We talked right before that timeout that you were saying how much you love a good block. And blocking is really all about ruining somebody's plans, right? Like the hitter goes up there and they say, here's what I'm gonna do. And the middle blockers, the very best ones like you, say, actually, that's not what you're gonna do.
I mean, I don't know if I'd put myself in that category, but some of these players down there, and what it comes down to is kind of reading, and you're playing a game of chess with the other side. So the attacker says, here's where I want to attack. The blocker either takes that away early, they can change mid-air, but you're really just relying on your senses at that point.
McCage loves to block.
And we love to see it. The blocking game of the USA is stepping up day by day. Again, they played against the best. They had Italy and Brazil in their first outing. So if you're going up against an Anna Cristina, you're not going to get that many stuff blocks. But here, this is their chance to really dig their teeth into some blocks and some of their, really, the things that they do so well.
A substitution for the Czech team. It's a very quick warm-up, just kind of rolled her shoulder around a bit. Number 7, Bukovska, and immediately attacks the ball and gets a dribbler down between the blocker and the net.
Yeah, and that's the discipline we were talking about earlier, because McCage is just that slight, just an inch off the net to give that space for the ball to travel through.
Sarah Franklin, cross-court strong. There she is again, and it's a beautiful block, this time on Bukovska.
And I'm looking at Molly's face as she missed that last block. You just knew. And she has got eyes wide open and almost claws on her hand saying, this ball is not getting past me this time.
So this is the rotation that we want to draw the audience's eyes to the USA side, because there is no Morgan Hentz on the floor here. They go away from her. And then outside again. Ruskovska has been scoring. Why? Turn away from her right now. Solid defense. Franklin, check block is causing them fits. And it is Ruskovska who finishes it.
Yeah, a little bit of back and forth in that one, but I think the Czech got out pretty lucky, because without Hentz, Ronnie Jones-Perry had been put in to play that defensive role for McCage, just that one rotation. But the Czech were able to capitalize on just a bit of scramble play on the USA side.
Yeah, and it was also because Ronnie Jones-Perry is being used as a serving sub today. Powerful serve. You get a 2-for-1.
Yeah, 100%.
Franklin offhand, the most effective shot in volleyball.
Yeah, and that's so smart, especially because look at how tight that ball was. A lot of inexperienced players might just try and swing low into it, attacking the block, but you can't. You have to go into the fingertips. That's exactly what Franklin does.
Still allowing cross court from the right side. Led Nikki. Deep corner, nearly indefensible.
I'm loving the teamwork right now on USA's side. We've called how many different names just in the last 5 minutes alone in terms of blocking, attacking, huge defenses. This is looking like a real team effort, and there's so many good things to pick apart. One of them being just that efficiency on the right side. Like, Nikki hasn't seen a lot of ball, but when she does, she's making it count.
Kneiflova comes in, a 22-year-old outside hitter, #1. Excuse me, she's a middle. And I love that these Czech setters and Valkova sets whoever just came in the first ball. If I was on the United States side, I will say, hey, she just came in, she's getting the ball.
Yeah, that's an interesting pattern, and all setters will have their own styles, and it is interesting to watch as a match unfolds what the tendencies are of the setter on the other side as the middle blocker. That's all you've got your eyes on, really. Maybe a couple other things, too.
This time just sitting on the line is Valkova to dig that Franklin line shot. This is what USA head coach Eric Sullivan asked for, was being able to defend that corner, but that one just painting the sideline.
I'm sure he'd also be happy that Czech is testing the USA and pushing them. They're not rolling over. This wasn't a given for either team, but we're seeing challenges on both sides. Even the scoreline reflects that USA is just right there, but Czech is not letting out.
Well, they just gave it back.
I was gonna say, just as I said that, the
Jinx.
commentator's curse.
Yeah, but I agree. I think that it's good that Eric Sullivan is seeing his team challenged, as long as they're not challenged too much, because he really wants to get this win. Right now, USA 2 points away from going up 2-0. Nothing more effective than back third of the court. Why is that a good idea to hit?
Yeah, the defenders are in their place, but the blockers are really paying attention to those hard-driven balls that are going straight down. So if you pepper the deep corner, whether it be right or left or the sidelines, there really isn't anyone sitting there. So you can really get away with some tricky shots there and just make the defense move.
Another substitution for Czech. This is Grabowska. She's a setter, 23 years old, and serving. And with that, with Grabowska, you've got Svoboda in as well. Another pin hitter. Igidi serving for the set for the United States. Broken play. Nice up, and they run the middle. The distribution by Sage Kanahaya Torres has been brilliant. USA goes up 2-0.
You know I love giving the middle blocker the ball on that final point. The trust that is had for Amalie McCage that she's up. Already the work's been done here on that first serve, so you're getting the free ball back. So to then feed up one of the veteran players on this team just to put that stamp on it, and you know she's going to go cross, she's getting that angle protect. So that's got to do with Hensville as well, taking control.
Little change in the starting lineup for Czech as Bukowska is getting the start. She came in midway through the second set. Lednicki challenging the setter, Valkova.
Yeah, I think now the setting is going to be spread all over the court on the USA side because that ball's coming in exactly where it needs to be. Now the Czech are just playing catch up with how fast it's going to the pins.
To the middle and down. We haven't seen a ton. You saw the numbers, 11% to the middles after that first set.
Yeah, and I think we saw the same numbers that the coaching staff of the Czech did as well. Probably pointed it out. Hey, look, we're getting shut down a little on the pins. We're only scoring points there. Let's start to feed that middle. Let's open it up. Let's make it tougher for the blockers of USA.
That's one of the things that the Czech coaching staff wants to see cleaned up, is the times that they are shooting themselves in the foot with service errors, with attack errors, with net touches they've had.
Just those little things the coach was saying.
Czech is stacked to the right, and Amber Igidi serves right into traffic. Makes it a little bit confusing. No problem, though. Who is it? Of course, she's had the day of her life. Branchuska.
Yeah, I love watching her play. She's growing with every single match because that is not even an easy shot to do. The ball was tight. It's in the hands of the blocker, and she just pushes to make sure she has the last touch.
Well passed by Eggleston, back to Lednicki. Ball's down. and good.
What a block. Nothing really USA could do there. All the players are crept in. They're exactly where they should be, right? They're making that half moon of sunshine, of coverage, but there's nobody on that end line over there.
Pass from Sarah Franklin to the middle. It's picked up. That's Molly McCage again, just pressing over the net. You have to respect the effort there by Bruskovska, who just attacks in a different way each time.
Yeah, and she's trying to find anything she can do. That first time, that roll into McCage, who's hanging in the air. So second time, a little bit harder. So I like that recycle play, giving your team a chance to go again, because something they didn't do super well in the first couple of sets was avoid the block. So now they're figuring out how.
A recycle is intentionally into the hands, kind of softly, and letting your team pick it up. They followed up that recycle with a service ace.
Service pressure got to be at the forefront of this Czech side. They have to make it harder for the USA to score. And if they find the fort first, that's going to be the way to do it.
After Logan Eggleston, a second time and a second ace. What do you do in this situation?
Well, you can shift over a little bit. I'd maybe give Hens a little more room. So if we know that Eggleston's being targeted, the rest of the players can step in and take a bit more.
Step back and use those hands. Okay, I like our positioning. I like your talk, how you're talking. You got the deep ball, all right, on that seam. Okay, we're just nice and loose, aggressive, making that angle. Be aggressive, go get it. Okay, we're out of this. We'll get out of this right now. Let's get going.
Hey, this is the row. They've hit a ton of sharp. Okay, be ready. They've hit a ton of sharp in this row and trans. Okay, here we go.
As you're hearing United States assistant coach Brandon Talaferro, he just finished coaching the UCLA men's collegiate team. He was an assistant coach there under John Hawks. Before that, John Speraw. He himself was a two-time NCAA champion setter at UCLA in 1998 and 2000.
So much depth on the bench, and not just players.
Yeah, Eric Sullivan also won a national championship at UCLA as an outside hitter.
Between him and all the coaching staff, it's brand new this year, right? So you got
Yes.
Mike Wall, Taiba Hanif Park, Joe Trinzi even in there getting some stats. So that's a pretty stacked roster in terms of coaches.
Yeah, there's Olympians up and down.
Yeah.
Too. Pass is on the money. Love it. Just love it. The head on Magdalena Bruskovska. We haven't seen the same swing twice.
Yeah, she's really making the USA, forcing them to have some fits in defense, and you see they're laying out, trying to make sure it comes up, but there's just, if you're playing that game of reacting to everything, then you just never know what's coming at you.
Eggleston, perfect pass that time, recovering from the prior aces. USA is suffering right now. It's a 5-point lead for Czech, and this Brazilian crowd, anti-USA crowd, invigorated.
Yeah, and this is exactly what the USA have to keep their eyes on. They have to keep focused. They have to do the things that were working. Because if they think this match is in the bag, I can tell you right now, it is not. This Czech team knows how to play.
Kahana Torres just a little bit off with Molly McCage. Molly reaches and gets it with the fingertips.
Yeah, that's a veteran play, right? Anytime you have a middle that, if the ball is out of their window, young middles will just swing away maybe into the net or into the block. She's just taking a little soft swab at it. I think that's the word. Swab.
I'll take either one.
She's
It's
just
fine.
making sure it's soft enough, but going on the floor.
Dime pass, and they work it again. That's Magda, who has been quiet out of the middle for Czech because they hadn't been passing that well until now.
Yeah, 100%. And the more she's involved, the more the Czech are looking like a team that can put pressure on the USA. That is a monster swing. From where I'm sitting, that ball went over Molly McCage. That, for the defenders in the backcourt to be there fast enough and in the right place, nearly impossible.
Passing needs to be the first fix for the United States. And for Czech, they are doing a masterful job of first contact. McCage Sends that one back with Sage Kahine to Torres. McCage again. To the middle, and that time, Magda able to get it down between the blockers and the net. Second time we've seen that happen.
Yeah, and the Czech team right now are just being so patient. I think one of the things they've changed drastically in this third set is that they are not trying to force anything. They're not demanding that they earn the point immediately. They're waiting. They're playing that recycle game.
Substitution for the United States, one of the most decorated NCAA players in USA history. Madison Skinner, they serve her right away. Number 9, 3-time NCAA champion. Outside, Franklin.
I like the look of bringing in Madison Skinner. I think she has the experience, right? She's one of the few players on this roster that's been to a VNL before. She has a chance to really bring a little bit of spark here in this third set.
Yes, she played in Rio last year, week number 1, alongside her sister, Olympic silver medalist Avery Skinner. Cross-court kill changes the conversation yet again, and it's Malenkova.
I think Malenkova is going to keep answering the question, how powerful are the Czech? How many options do they have? Because we're talking about that ball going left, right, and she every single time has a different swing.
Great pass by Franklin. Going for her super sharp and unable to get it.
That's a change from what we saw earlier. She was really working on that line, and now she's going full cross court. She's trying to change her shots, just a little bit missing that court, reining it in, and it'll be perfect.
Franklin and Skinner playing next to each other and passing. They faced off in the NCAA championship for Wisconsin and Texas. Franklin won National Player of the Year, but Madison Skinner and her Texas team won the national championship.
How fun is that to get to see some absolute rivals on the same court? For USA Volleyball fans, this is what it's about, the pinnacle of the sport, but also all those jersey colors just mesh into the red, white, and blue.
Okay, meanwhile, it's a bit of an SOS for Team USA. What is the first thing they can fix and regain their composure?
Well, I'd love to see a little more confidence in that passing unit, right? We've lost that ability to run the middle, and I think obviously the Czech is serving a little bit tougher, but communication can be the first thing. Making sure you know who's taking what seed, and then once that ball is in, exactly like that, getting the middle going, just running that confidence play again, so they can just add speed to the offense and confuse the Czech team once again. Look at the spike height on that, almost 3 meters.
Sarah Franklin serving, a little bit of heat and trouble. Up by Hentz, into the hands of Kahine Torres. Just too long, Lednicki can ask. She's asking for a challenge. And Eric Sullivan is indeed doing that.
Yeah, you gotta have confidence in your players, and you have to be honest with your coach as well. It's easier to see in that slow motion. I'm not sure that I saw a touch, but either way, that communication has to be there between players and coaches as well as players and players.
Yeah, you ask for that challenge once, and it's not actually what you say it is, and your coach starts to lose confidence, and that was, I don't know, it was pretty reactionary, because without Bolt 6, players are used to saying, yeah, no, that's it.
Trying to convince themselves, trying to convince the referees as well, but you're exactly right. You cannot cry wolf when there are a million cameras on the court. We'll get another look at it, though. Do you see any finger movements?
Malenkova? I'm not sure. If it is, it would be her right hand, but I don't see it. And it is unsuccessful. You get 2 challenges per set. 1 is gone. Only keeping it if they are successful. So, and that's going to cost Eric Sullivan because they're down by 7. Right, he's already taken timeout, so he's now got just that 1 other stoppage. What's the Czech team doing well?
I mean, their confidence is so high right now. We've seen them turn on the gas in terms of attacking from the end line. That first contact is really causing the USA team fits. They're finding those seams, they're targeting different players on different sides of the court, but what they're mainly doing is making it easier for their block and easier for them to run that transition play.
To the middle again, and IGD key. This is the mirror opposite of what we've seen from the United States. The first two matches against Brazil and Italy, we saw them with a slow start and press more in the third set. Here, reverse. They've really let off the gas in this third set.
Yeah, it's tough though, right? When you have that first contact that's not functioning, everything just gets harder.
And Czech's first contact much better right now, so they're able to run their middles.
And now they have the advantage, right? Because they have that little cushion of points, about 8 of them, they can afford to be riskier from their serve, and the USA cannot. The USA have to make the Czech play, and then it's gonna result in an easier serve that is an easier attack.
Another service ace. That's 3 that have gone off the receiver on that side of the court.
Yeah, that has been so impressive, and especially from a youngster like Pulisiani, only 22 years old. She knows Skinner's in there, hasn't got a lot of playing time, wants to go at her immediately.
They go again, and Franklin steps in front. Well dug. And there she is with the Midas touch time and time again. It's Bręčiūtė. Excuse me, that wasn't Bręčiūtė.
I think that was Bukovska, but
yes.
She's targeting the hand of Molly there. Just a slight lack of discipline.
And find some rhythm, right? A little flat and wide. Just get it a little bit more space and leave it inside a little bit, right? Reset here. Start building some momentum. 7's a lot of junk. He's gonna throw it around, so we gotta make sure we're stopped, looking for the stuff short around the block, right? Hey, lots of volleyball left. Let's go. Reset here. Let's get going.
As you listen to USA head coach Eric Sullivan, he talked about Bukovska, number 7, saying it's a lot of junk there. It's what you and I were talking about, a million different ways of attacking the ball.
Yeah, she's been putting some pressure on USA because they're trying to read what she's going to do. And in fact, it's not just her, but all of the Czech players right now. We've seen them kind of pepper all the angles from really sharp inside to tips right over the block. The defense of USA is on the back foot.
Skinner tips inside, well picked up. Magda sends it outside. Heavy roof, extended awning led by Molly McCage.
And I'm watching Molly's kind of character come out. Every time she misses a block, you then see her press even harder on the next one. And that's dangerous if you're a young middle. You might overpress, get those touches on the net, but not her. Her discipline's coming back.
Yeah, 31 years old. It's not her first day.
Not her first rodeo, nope. Texas gal.
Yeah, McCage leads everyone with 5 stuff blocks. Big number.
And I already like that number. Out of 10 total, this is what USA's best blocking night already, and we're not even finished with the match.
No, and it looks like we're steamrolling towards a 4th set. 10-point lead for Czech. Fool me once, fool me twice. Sage Kainatoris unsuccessful calling the number that time.
Yeah, they've got her. They know she's there now. They're paying attention to her, but that was the goal, right? She wants to create herself to be one of the additional attackers in that lineup. So even if they pick that up, of course, it's a slower ball than any of the attackers, it still gives USA a chance to confuse the defense.
3-time NCAA champion Madison Skinner behind the service line. There's nothing more frustrating for me as a server when you have a great thing that causes an overpass. Finish it, people.
Yeah, I know, and especially because for me an overpass is just as good as an ace if you've got a good middle, or even, you know, just paying attention. The height difference there that Franklin had, she would have had that 9 times out of 10.
She takes it out on that ball. It is wide, off the block. Pay attention after this at the fact that Morgan Hens is off the floor. So when you look at this USA now, Molly McCage will be playing defense on the right side. Will they hit towards her?
Not only that, they'll tip towards her, so she's there on the back foot, kind of on her heels on defense, expecting to be exploited, and they're making her move forward. So I really think you're nailing it on the head here. The IQ of the players on the Czech side has stepped up tenfold from what we saw in the last couple of matches, or sets, excuse me.
Franklin down, big pancake. Ball's good. First contact, solid. Amber Ajiti, aggressive attack to the back third of the court.
I love that USA are having to work through some things, because this is exactly what this period is for, right? If it's too easy on either team, you're not learning, you're not getting out of your comfort zone. That's what Eric Sullivan has this team on the floor to do, is to get better leading up to the Olympics in 4 years.
Another substitution for the United States, Olivia Babcock now on the right side. She was this year's NCAA National Player of the Year. That's right, there are 3 AVCA National Player of the Year on the USA side. From the back court, who else would it be but Bukowska? This is a devastating set for the United States and absolutely masterful by Czech.
Yeah, the Czech side have really turned on the gas, and they're showing us a taste of what they can do, right? We know that they have some talent in their bench, in their court, but they were tested by USA the first couple of sets. Now they're really showing USA another side that they still have.
If this challenge is unsuccessful, Eric Sullivan is out of timeouts and out of challenges. Having said that, it may be unsuccessful, I don't know, but it's the last chance he gets to break the momentum. But it was a success, no touch. So he has 1 challenge remaining.
I feel like USA really needed that to go their way. The way that the scoreline is looking right now, they have to find something that'll give them a little bit of momentum. And if it's winning a challenge or just getting a point go their way instead of the other way, they have to earn some momentum now. Even if they can't turn around this set, they have to get things going, get that confidence back that we saw in the last couple of sets.
Andy,
One of the things Babcock told me after the last match is that she was really proud of the way that her team fought. And I think if they can do that again in this match, they can turn this around, even this set, and come back.
This is very strange. Now Czech has asked for a challenge on the block touch. So we just looked at a block. Right, so we just looked at a challenge, now another.
Okay, good. Show it, please. Thank you.
They're challenging for net touch.
We got the wrong information the first time, because I was like, that doesn't make sense to challenge something that was just challenged.
So they're looking for a net touch by the blockers of USA, because we saw clearly that the ball did not hit their fingertips. Did those bodies hit the net?
I don't see it. No, and neither does our official. So 2 unsuccessful challenges. Score is 21-13. Sage Cajaina-Torres behind the service line. Pass is perfect yet again. No touch. 7-point deficit for the USA. Cajaina-Torres again. From the backcourt, Babcock defends. Okay, this is what happens when you go for high hands and it doesn't hit anybody. It looks like a spastic thing, but any volley fan understands exactly what you're trying to do.
Yeah, it looks so silly, but it's so crucial at this high level, because you don't want to swing down into the block. You want to go just for the tiny fingertips.
Fully, you will go first tempo. Okay. Probably they will stay with her. You have here Mookie, you have to goal, and then here. We give you 1 ball, guys. Hey! Now what we did, we spiked 2 balls direct out. We made we can use dirty volleyball also if the balls are not good. Ella, let's go! Ella! Go, no!
4-point run by the United States as they try to close the gap. In addition, something else I learned during that timeout is that coach calls number 8, Kulisiani, he calls her Cooley. I like that.
Yeah, you gotta have some
Much
nicknames for your
easier,
players.
yeah.
We can do that too, can't we? Throw that in
now
there.
we can, the door's been opened. Kahaina Torres still behind the service line. Czechs serve receive spread out, all areas cover. They serve the libero. Waiting for the call, and indeed that ball was down. A clean attack by Malenkova.
A lot of confusion though on the USA side. They're saying absolutely not that that ball was touched.
Out of challenges.
I know, that's unfortunate, and that's exactly what you get.
Please
Or
check
are
this
they
one.
saying,
No, it's fine.
did he say, yeah, it was out. They wanted to take a look at it again. I think that was in and out. Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I thought that,
definitely didn't touch the block.
No, because they wouldn't want that
And-
conversation to happen.
Madison Skinner on the run, but also didn't touch it, so I think that might have been overturned.
It was overturned. Yeah, it was out. The original call was in. Now that one, absolutely into the back corner.
And that's a good response from Czech, right? They have made a couple of errors, a few balls in a row going straight out the back, like the coach mentioned. So they need to find a way to get back in their rhythm. They are right on the edge of this set, but they want to close it out as soon as possible.
USA, great distribution. 10 attack points for Igidi Franklin, Lednicki and McCage. But it is Branchuska and Malenkova who lead all scorers.
There's USA though getting Igidi back in the mix, and they look so comfortable when she's able to run with that speed. She can beat any block, I feel.
They were down by 10 at one point, now down by 5. That block was huge. Unfortunately for the USA, it was wide. Big point for Czech.
Yeah, 100%. They've been testing the block. They have had a bit of success earlier on, but now they're really trying to bring that ball back down. I like the way they're working off the hands there.
23 serving 17. Czech trying to push it to a 4th set. Big dig, Babcock challenging it. And there was a whistle. USA in the net.
The Czech have really gotten into their groove. This is exactly what we saw earlier on in this set. Putting pressure on the USA, finding ways to score. One more point in it.
Set point, Czech. Miscommunication on the pass. Trying a little tenderness. Who else would it be? Bukowska for the win. And we will go to a 4th set. What a comeback by this Czech team. They really turned it around.
Yeah, and we called it halfway through. They were serving tougher. They were putting pressure on that first contact of the USA. Really broke down there. There were 4 service aces now that the Czech have that USA weren't really handling that communication-wise or giving their hitters a chance to go fast. So the center unable to add speed just because that first contact.
Olivia Babcock getting the start for Team USA. Blocked by Igidi and out. USA scores the first point of set number 4 off an Amber Igidi block. But if Czech continues to pass as well as they did in the last set, what is the USA going to be able to do to change things?
Well, it's tough because I'm looking at the blocking numbers right now, and USA had only 1 block in that set. They had 9 before that. So it all trickles together. You know, it's pieces of the puzzle that work together. USA have to be more aggressive in their serve. That'll help. Babcock getting a nice big swing on the outside to find the floor. She hasn't gotten a lot of playing time either. I'd like to see her really just spread her wings a bit and use between that seam right there. That looks so good for her. She's got a lot of space there.
Olivia Babcock, 19 years old, has 2 more years of NCAA volleyball She's just aggressive.
Yeah.
She's too young to get nervous, perhaps. She's just a baller.
Yeah, and she's used to winning, right? I think there's some people that it's in your DNA. Once you get comfortable and you realize, you know, she's been one of the best players in the NCAA in the past couple of years. She's not worried about a Czech team. She's not worried about some names she's never heard of on the other side.
Right, she's not reading the bio.
Yeah, exactly.
We saw a lot of Czech errors through sets 1 and 2, much more under control in set 3, and that was another big key to their success. Both teams passing big numbers. We said at 52 and 75. That's a call for more aggressive serving.
Yeah, definitely. And they might have been toning it back because there were so many errors in the first couple.
But when it's not tough enough, that's what happens. Perfect pass, go to Magda in the middle, and she's just money.
Yeah, how do you find that balance, right? How do you get aggressive from the service line without making too many errors? Because there's just no way to block a Magda when that ball is perfectly on the setter's head. She's so high, she's so dynamic.
Branchuska's serve. And again, it's Babcock, healthy swing.
I was so impressed by Babcock in the last outing. She has the kind of confidence as a player that I think comes from not even from her volleyball skills. It comes from her knowing that she deserves to be there. She's put in the work, she's put in the hours, and she's just gonna play smart when that opportunity comes. She's just trying to prove what she can do. Did I jinx it again?
I don't think you're that powerful, as spectacular as you are. I think the USA has been bit by the yips on the service errors. Third ace off Logan Eggleston in this match.
Speaking of the yips, the passing unit has kind of crumbled a little bit on USA's side. That's what we were so impressed by in the first couple of sets, is how well they were handling that ball. But I mean, that serve's coming corner to corner. That's not an easy shot to pick up. Let off the hook there, but USA is gonna have to start figuring out how to get that ball that goes high on the shoulders back into the setter.
Both Logan Eggleston and Sarah Franklin played their professional spring in the United States. They literally received every serve. I would say 98% of serves. Everybody targeting them.
Yeah, it's one thing, I think, to be targeted in a professional season in the USA. I do think that this international stage, though, all eyes are on this.
Yeah.
Right, all the fans watching back home, all the friends and family, this is the big leagues. So handling that pressure here, that's gonna be the test for those players.
Beautiful set by Eggleston. Back to Babcock from the backcourt. Magda, big dig. What was it you said about middles in defense? Because Magda was perfection on that first touch.
Yeah, she's the exception to quite a few rules, I would say. In terms of defying gravity, we've seen it in the front court, so if she's also doing it in the back court, I am not shocked.
AVCA National Freshman of the Year in 2019 for Washington State is Magda. Change of pace, and I think that Hens was ready for something a little more powerful.
Yeah, that's what the Czech have done really well, is kind of confuse the passing unit and defending unit of the USA. Again, that comes with a good first contact, but that's even from off the net. So that roll by Bukovska into that deep, again, you mentioned it, Hens is kind of coming in, thinking it's gonna be hard driven. Just the change of tempo is enough to throw her off.
Check out to an early lead. It's got to come down from the service line. And Molly McCage, no Morgan Hens on the floor. It'll be up to McCage, Eggleston, and Babcock in the backcourt. Well dug by Eggleston. Free ball now. Mistake by Czech, passing the free ball over the net. Igidi, big blocks. Healthy touch. Setter calls her own number. You don't see that very often from Valkova, and that's what makes it effective.
Yeah, and that in the addition to the fact that it's just over the back, so Franklin kind of reaching, not sure if Molly's going to be there. That miscommunication again between two players that maybe don't know each other so well, but that is exactly what the Czech have done, find those conflict areas on USA's side.
Yeah, that is not a week 3 problem, that is a third match problem. But again, let off the hook by Czech.
USA is going to hope for a few more errors like that, because that was what kept it kind of balanced in the first couple of sets. When the Czech wasn't making those errors in the third set, it was a different ballgame.
Outside, power train. Franklin able to put it down between the blocker and the net.
That just comes down to discipline. We talked about it a lot on USA's side and how they had it. This one, the blockers are lined up, they're in the right place, but if there's just that sliver of space between the forearms of the blocker and the net, that's enough space for the ball to dribble through.
I like the way her eyes were closed, like maybe if I close my eyes, nobody sees me.
Please, 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 please. Yeah, totally different if you think about the slow motion where McCage was getting those stuff blocks. She was eyes wide open and just dialed into where she wants to go.
Malenkova, again, so effective. The variety of shots we've seen from all the Czech players has been really impressive. Won't happen, that's not a week 3 problem. That's again, just two people passing next to each other who've never played together before.
Yeah, and the Czech are capitalizing on it. Ace serve after ace serve, because they have figured out that ball into the sharp left side of the court. There's a conflict zone there where the outside hitter wants to go attack, but hence wants to take the ball.
Franklin on the floor. All 3 of the last AVCA National Players of the Year, Wisconsin, Pittsburgh, and Texas, on the floor right now.
We love to see it. High-level volleyball in the USA translating to the next generation of Olympians. I mean, whether or not this team make the roster for the 2028 games, irrelevant. These are the stars of the future.
Torres, great body control to not go into the net, setting up Babcock.
And body control has to be important no matter what position you're playing. We talk about it for the middles, not touching the net with their arms, attacking as well, figuring out who's in front of you in the block. Body control, a huge part of volleyball, just in general, no matter where you are on the court.
But service pressure against Czech is just not enough.
It doesn't feel like we're getting USA's best attack from the end line right now. It doesn't feel like they're going back there with just laser focus on who they want to play with. And maybe they do. Maybe they're targeting instead of going full green light, full throttle.
12 serving 10. Up, down, and out.
Yeah, I like the idea of trying to go off the hands there. Again, there has to be some creativity in attack right now, because this ball, only a couple of steps, so not completely impossible to run an offense, but they're trying to work around a big block that's figured them out.
I do see, to your point earlier, I see what Eric Sullivan could be getting out of this in terms of the pressure on his team in front of a crowd that is booing them, and they have been up and down. That kind of strength and confidence in themselves being built right now.
Yeah, this is the moment to do it. This is the when they need to grind it out and find ways to win when there's no expectation. There's one way to do it.
Fantastic pursuit by Amber Igidi. Get your track shoes on, Middle.
Yes, Middle's defense counts for 2. You always know it. Well, we got to give the defense actually to Karina, but that is beautiful. Magda, nothing she could do there. That's the net. And look at the stars on the sideline, loving it.
Free ball. Outside and a crushing kill. It just keeps coming from Bukowska.
Yeah, she's been creeping up. Didn't even get that much playing time in the first set, and then now she's almost tied up with the highest scorer on her side. She's got 12 points. The highest is Francuska with 16, so she's just creating a problem for USA every time she touches the ball.
You got to grab those opportunities when you get them, and she does. Targeting Logan Eggleston, she's answering the bell. Beautiful pass. Everybody's clamped up right there for the USA. Love an aggressive swing.
Yeah, that was really clear-headed by Eggleston after there were a couple of touches that went awry. Morgan having to take that second ball. She wasn't expecting to, kind of diving to make sure she did it, but I love that from an outside hitter that's just ready. Doesn't matter who gets me the ball, I'm going full throttle.
Yeah, that's one of the things to really love about Eggleston is that she betters the ball every time. Down from Bukowska.
It's wild to think she's only 21 years old. I know we're looking at a pretty young squad on both sides, but that's high-level volleyball IQ. Bukowska has just been causing fits for the USA with where she's placing the ball every time.
Speaking of fits, the coaching staff of Czech is going to have fits. Nice smile, coach. The ball in the nets served the last couple of times, and it has opened the door. USA 1 point away from tying it up. Well, shut my mouth. If you're wondering, you see Jordan Poulter, a two-time Olympic medalist in the background there. If you're wondering why she's not playing, Eric Sullivan really wants to see his pieces. As you mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, he's thinking about LA 2028, and he's got 4 years to build it. He needs to see her 3 now. To build it, he wants to see who he's got.
Yeah, and I love that, and I love that he's giving faith to his players that are out there. He's not just immediately pulling the string and saying, let me get Poulter in there and get some consistency. No, give these players a chance to work through it, and this is exactly what you're going to see. We're now tied up, almost tied up, and that's because they've had to work through some things.
Ronnie Jones-Perry, the strongest server on USA right now. I can't look, right? I mean, it's just so hard. It's so hard. There's all this adrenaline and energy and vibe in here, and I really feel it's a big part of the serves going just a little long, repeatedly.
Yeah, I'm looking at the numbers here. I think we've got 25 errors by the USA. Maybe that's the other way around, actually. 17 for the USA.
Pass is good. IGD to Franklin. Franklin, big swing. Excellent dig. Changes it up. Hard. It's going to come back hard now. Yeah. As I was saying.
You got to give it to the Czech, though. When they get the opportunity, they're going aggressive. They're not backing down from any challenges. I mean, even these balls, that's a defensive, huge defensive move there to keep in play. And then look at the angle on it. You'd think that ball was out. 3 players with their hands up saying, no, I'm not even going to go for it. Just tagging the end line. The Czech are really doing some damage here.
United States has Olivia Babcock in the backcourt. If they get a pass that's good enough, she's another weapon. IGD, shut it down.
Finally, another block out of the USA side. Again, only 2 blocks so far since the first 2 sets. That's just not enough. That is what we saw, but obviously the Czech side learning to make those, not make those mistakes anymore and go straight into the block, but this is what USA needs a little bit more of.
Babcock, IGD, and Franklin in the front. Over soft, good pickup by Franklin, and here's Babcock. She's aggressive swinging, and that's what it feels like the USA needs.
Yeah, aggressive but also smart. She speeds up her arm to take that swing. She's testing the block. She realizes they're not completely closed when she's going, and that's how she's getting
Look at me.
success.
Watch out, maybe they will serve to one. You go first tempo. If it's Kapatu, you don't give the ball for no reason. Try to find solution if you set you, okay? Watch out, try to go run fast. Michaela, we don't hit it, try to hit high if the ball is out of system, okay? Ella, let's go! Ella!
It's been a big turnaround here as Czech was leading. They dominated the last set. What has the USA done better in this set to regain the micro lead?
Well, they're passing a little bit better, right? The third set, I feel, was where they really dropped off and couldn't really get an offense going. And Czech have taken the foot off the gas just a little bit. We're seeing those errors creep back in on both sides, but that's what's making it more even. I think if the USA or the Czech, whichever one takes the reins right now, cuts the errors and keeps the aggression on the serve, that's who's going to get going towards the end line.
And with that, a perfect pass to a heavy swing, but it is out. And immediately, the Czech team asks for a video replay.
Yeah, you look at Franklin's hands there. I'd be surprised if she didn't get a little clip of that.
I do as well. Because there is no green card in VNL this year, last year, if you self-reported a touch, the team who did that the most, there was a cash prize at the end. It led to a lot of honesty, right?
Yeah.
But by nature, volleyball players, and I bring myself into this, are liars, right? We all say no touch, or yes, there was a touch, whatever it is. And now it's all bolt 6.
Yeah, I think at least force the other team to take the challenge, though. If it wasn't
yeah.
called by the referee, for sure, get those acting skills going, because
Wait a minute.
they might have to waste one at least.
Wait a minute. Oh, yeah, it does. Thumb of the left hand. You know, one of the great things about playing in Brazil is that if you're unsure, all the fans will make that call for you.
Yeah, well, to be fair, Brazilians know volleyball probably better than any country in the world.
True, when there's 10,000 of them making the official call, it's pretty interesting. Yeah. But they're not wrong.
They're not wrong on that occasion, but Franklin has a little bit of payback.
18 serving 19. If you don't seal the block, bad things will happen. I'm surprised we have seen that Drano, right, draining down on the side of the blocker as many times today for both teams.
Well, I just wonder if the blockers on the USA side, this is a very fast offense at this international level, so getting used to that, and again with the crowd and in this big arena, it's something that takes a little bit of time, and especially keeping that discipline is tough.
That's what you love about Eggleston. Over her shoulder, still a big swing. But that's what you love even more about Bukowska. She now has 15 points, same as Malenkova.
Yeah, she's taking rips, she's firing it through hands, and I love that she's just no fear to go across court and get that touch.
Anything to your right, okay, you're getting an approach. Right here, you take it, okay? Middles are good, lift's good, okay? Hey, up and down, we get out of this. Long way to go here in this game. Go, keep fighting.
Come on. USA! USA!
That's the first timeout taken by USA in this set. So they do have one more. That's the good news. The bad news is they're down by 3 very late.
Yeah, and I think they can still make some changes. They can make some pushes. I think we've seen a better handling of the ball in this set, but that's got to be the key, right? Get the Czech to make some errors in the serve, and if they are serving tough, highly over-communicate, because even if that ball's like up in the middle somewhere, you can get an offense going, but just making sure that ball contact is there.
Back to Babcock, and door is closed. Magda and Bukowska.
She was so ready for that block. Look, barely even a step. Oof. And I mean, Bukovska's not the tallest player. She's 185, and she's possibly going to be utilized as a blocking target, but probably shouldn't be based on that.
Yeah, exactly. Here's Kuliansky. The defense of the Czech team has been outstanding. Picking up and covering, great example of it there. Sage to Franklin up the middle. Well defended again by Czech. Babcock with the swing. Feed her more. She's had a great showing.
Yeah, and I think when she gets that ball a little bit inside, she's almost at an advantage there. You'd think it would be a disadvantage because the blockers would be on it, but her arm is so fast that she's able to just whip it inside the block. She's got that height advantage. She's 6'4". She can go around a big block.
Hanging in the air, and then the snap from Magda. Czech 2 points away from pushing this match to a 5th set.
Hey, we love to see it. We knew this was going to be a challenge for both teams. They're looking for their first win. Nothing was a guarantee, so I like there's been some momentum shifts on both sides.
Eggleston pass, back to Babcock. Yes, that is who you feed. Hot hitter.
Yeah, she can do some absolute damage. And look, that first ball is a bit of a movement there to go forward on the net, but flinging it back the opposite direction, I like that idea, making the middle on the other side move.
Babcock, 5 attack points in this set alone. But it is set point Czech.
How do you stop a Bukovska, who even from off the net, I mean, she's got to be at the 3-meter line attacking there, still finding a way over and around the USA block and into Hensville and finding the floor.
Serving for the set, and it's an ace to end things. We are going to a 5th set.
This is why the VNL is so fun, because these two teams knew very little about each other coming in here, and they've started to figure out what's working. USA came firing in the first 2 sets, perfect passing, middle involved, but this service pressure from the Czech has really changed the game. They're starting to really target exactly where they want on the court with heat. That is why the USA has been struggling in their last couple of sets.
Is Czech primed for a reverse sweep? United States taking the first 2 sets. Czech taking sets 3 and 4.
Here are the numbers on the 4th set. Look at the attack, 17-11. Again, they're just getting themselves in a position to attack better, but look at those serves as well. 3 ace serves. So that just tells me the Czech have been putting pressure on from the end line. They're targeting Eggleston. They were targeting Skinner when she came in as well. They're really working on that front court passer, making sure that even if she does get that ball up and she's on the floor, they're taking out one of the options. So they're doing a good job of making sure their blockers are going to be able to get in better positions to touch some balls.
Fifth set coming up, Key. Everything changes now. We are even. Attack zones, here we go for the USA, and that 50%, that's Babcock.
Yeah, that opposite, that number's been picked up enormously since she's come in. I still would love to see more middle, but again, beggars can't be choosers. If the ball's not there, at least find ways to add some alternates. Here's the difference though, on the Czech side. They've got a pretty even split along the middle. They're using that area of the court much better.
It's time for a fifth set. We had all sweeps at the beginning of this week. Then we started to heat up, see some more even. Fifth set's only to 15 points. USA won the first two. Czech has all the momentum, winning 3 and 4. Key, what are you going to be looking for?
Oh my goodness, I love a fifth set because this is a sprint. This is literally who gets out of the gate faster. And you mentioned it, right? The momentum was all there. A lot thanks to this player right here, Francesca. She has been a game changer for Czech. The youngster has just been firing on all cylinders. So, for the USA, can they figure out a way to contain her? She's been peppering all areas of the court, so they're gonna have to be really clinical and disciplined in their block. But for me, take care of that first contact.
Czech has first serve, starting in rotation one. Setter Katarina Volkova behind the service line. Sage Kahanatoris runs the middle. It's defended well. Beautiful up from Morgan Hentz. A misconnect. Logan saves it with her left hand. Franklin. Nobody's back there to defend that last end line.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit, and I know she's been trying to work lines and really sharp cross, but that's pretty much point all day long. And in fact, Francesca's just back there thinking, or excuse me, Bukovska just watching that ball hit her on the left side.
Franklin again. Shut down. While the USA has won the first point, it sets 3 and 4. It's kind of flipped. You have to have some encouragement if they won the first two. Maybe they'll build a momentum.
Yeah, and a block like this is hugely going to help. So it seems like the Czech have just been swinging at will. So a block is going to do wonders for momentum.
Third service, and it was beautiful. I do believe that should be a half a point for Sarah Franklin and a half a point for IGD, but that's not the way things work.
We'll do it. We'll keep our own scoreboard here in the booth, and
yeah,
we're giving out candy afterwards as well. I'm just saying, an overpass feels so good as a middle, and I just love that IGD was ready and waiting and clinical with it. Didn't give a chance for Czech to really defend it or do anything.
There has been a challenge from Czech. They're saying that IGD was reaching over the net before it crossed the plane. We will take a look and see. And they will show it in this arena, and you will hear all the fans make their own call.
Yeah, I can't wait to see this because I feel as though at a 3-0 start for the USA, any reason to slow it down or stop play, get the momentum back, shifting into balance could be good. So whether or not this is actually over the net is, well, up for debate.
And indeed, they do call it a successful challenge. IGD breaking the plane of the net.
She was eager, though. I like the aggression either way.
One serving two. Franklin, perfect pass. They run to IGD, and she's angry about that last goal.
Oh, I'm feeling that. And I love a setter that understands the way that her players are feeling. She's looking at IGD saying, you know what? She's just missed that ball. Let me give her another one, get her in this game.
That is such a great point, Key. Sage Kahanatoris feeling the emotions. Sarah Franklin again, another nice dig. Free ball. They're gonna go outside. No, they go back. Same issue, and it's the same thing you were talking about, the speed, getting the middle over and penetrating the net.
Yeah, in theory, it's so easy to say, oh, just get your arms over, but look at the speed of this ball, and McCage is just sprinting to try and get there, just pushing her hands towards the net. But if I'm looking at the history of the last couple of sets, McCage is gonna get either a kill or a block immediately after that kind of error.
Yeah, we'll see if it's a good pass. Do you set Molly McCage here?
I do. I'm no setter, but I would.
I'm a setter, and I would.
Okay.
Okay. But Czech doesn't give it a chance. They take care of it themselves with a service in the net. Olivia Babcock, who was the hot hitter in the last set, behind the service line. Sage Kahanatoris should not go away from her. They can use her in a backcourt attack.
100%. 6 points in that set alone.
Push to the Jeep. Kahanatoris goes outside to Eggleston. Too sharp. Plenty of power.
This is kind of what we saw early stages of Czech in this match. They were trying to go around the block, and we saw them go line out, long out. Then they reined it in. But if this is a sign of things to come, it's good for USA.
And there is another challenge by Czech. Their last one was successful. This time they're saying the USA block touched the net.
Yes, show the complete action, yes.
Yeah, we'll have to have a look at that in real time. But again, USA starting to get the momentum
Yes,
here.
but
It's a
just show the
5-2
action
lead.
until
So
they went.
is this just a reason to slow things down? Last time it wasn't.
So
It
the
was
touch is from
an
the
actual
ball.
call that went the way
Here
of
also
Czech.
no.
But
Okay, good. Show this. No,
I like
yes.
the way you think,
Finish
but I
on.
think it was actually a net.
oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, well, we'll find out in just a second.
Yeah, that'd be lucky though for the Czech if it is a USA unforced error, because that ball was way out of bounds.
Watch the blockers coming down. See, I should never make a call.
I was gonna say Molly's gonna ask for an apology after this match.
I sincerely apologize. I didn't say who touched the net.
That's
Logan,
fair. That's
I
fair.
owe it to Logan and Molly.
That's fair.
Babcock. Perfect save, I'll say, by Magda. Eggleston, so aggressive. It's like having that friend who always knows the right thing to say. Logan Eggleston knows the right level of aggression to use.
Yeah, she's like a warm hug on the court when USA needs it.
Behind the ball, that's the key. Right and left, trust it. Hey, the calls are the same. We just need a good reception. Watch out, he's coming with backspin. Dada, smile, it's okay. Guys, let's go right there. Hello.
The longer it gets, the smarter you have to stay, okay? And come inside the court. We drop the ball, we touch it.
These teams have only met twice before in history. The USA swept Czechoslovakia both times, 2010 and 2013. That's how long it has been. VNL 2025, each of these teams looking for a win. The tension is thick here in Rio de Janeiro. For the Czech team, their first time playing in Volleyball Nations League. And they're looking for their first win ever. United States coming off an Olympic silver medal in the Paris Games.
Yeah, both these teams looking for a little bit of momentum here. I think the USA, if they just continue playing the way they are, this set should be theirs.
Babcock goes right back to her. Uh-oh. Eggleston, darn right.
So calm under pressure, Eggleston. You mentioned it. She's just like that friend who has something that they can add to the table every time. In terms of volleyball, she's just finding ways to better the ball. That ball a little bit tight. She doesn't care. She's going up, swinging high and deep, not into the block.
You called her a warm hug. I
Yeah.
say she's a punch in the face wrapped in a warm hug.
Yeah.
Aggression by Buskovska, and that's exactly what Czech needs. They're not down by too much. It is only 15, however.
Yeah, the Czech side did such a good job of turning on their offense in the last couple of sets that if they have that in the tank still, just a little bit more, they're going to continue to put pressure on USA. So it's really still so early to call this match.
That's the kind of service error that just makes you lose your head. Magdalena Buskovska, you're trying to get something. Now USA has doubled up Czech again. 8-4 in a short 15-point set. This is Volleyball Nations League. International competition at the very highest level. World ranking points on the line. Ronnie Jones-Perry into serve. Ball is down. Great cross-court kill to change the momentum from Malenkova.
Yeah, and she's doing a great job of finding that sideline all the way on the other side of the court. Look how far USA's defense is shifted to the right side. She recognizes that. She makes that part of her offensive mindset to go in the other direction, away from the wave.
Magda's serve to Eggleston. Pass, kind of Torres to her knees. It's still up. Czech is not about to give up. Oh, you don't want to go soft here. You're going to get punished by Malenkova, and there it is. Once they play together more, Franklin will never reach back when she knows Hens is right behind her.
Yeah, I don't know that anyone should reach back when Hens is there, because she's absolutely one of those players who can get there fast enough. You see how she's all the way there from the backcourt, basically to right behind the blocker. She's covering so much ground.
Igidi strong. Great job blocking by the Czech team. That ball is in. That's a critical point. Could have been 7-8 at this juncture. USA maintaining a little room.
Yeah, and I love Franklin doing exactly what Malenkova just did to their team, is shifting the sideline, moving the ball with that wrist away and thumb down all the way to the other side.
Igidi slowing down the block, slowing down the attack. Those positive touches for her making a difference. But Malenkova, we talked about her experience. She has played in Italy, Greece, China, France, Poland, Germany, and of course Czech. She knows international ball.
Yeah, add to that the fact that in Italy they play, you know, there's like Olympic gold medalists playing in the entire league in Italy, so she's played at a level where she's been tested every single time she steps on the court.
Igidi powers through. Amber Igidi has been absolutely huge in the latter part of this match. She's aggressive, she's blocking, has a great connection with Sage Kaina-Torres.
Yeah, sitting at 14 points. That's the kind of numbers you want to see out of a middle. We talked about that. As soon as USA is involving the middle offensively, that's when they're starting to feel in their groove.
Babcock and Eggleston on either side of Igidi. Malenkova, the second effort is there. Eggleston set by Hens. Back again. Rip, rip, rip again. It's Branchuska.
Every time she touches the ball, in fact, all of the Czech players right now are finding ways to make something out of not much. I mean, that's an out-of-system play. Ball's coming from behind. The setter has to fling it back with height. Blocks in place, but yet the Czech are finding ways.
Igidi again, why not? She's the hot hitter at the moment.
I love when the hot hitter's a middle.
Yeah.
It makes it harder on the setter because you've got to try and find her when the ball necessarily isn't there. Just a couple of steps, but she's looking for seams. She's turning it across her body. The blockers are paying attention to her. They're not giving her an open net, but still, she's beating them with speed there and height.
All three hitters in the front court for the United States have some heat, some success as of late. It's those type of errors that are challenging.
Yeah, those ones sting. I do like the USA continuing to be aggressive though, and I'd love to see an aggressive serve over a lollipop any day.
Cooley goes out and in comes Emma Kneifleba. She's 22 years old, serving sub, and has been very consistent. This is the difference between 9-12 and 10-11. Pass is great. So is the pass there, coming up the middle. Absolutely. Czech team showing their spirit.
What a defensive effort there from the Czech side. The blockers perfectly in place to make sure that they can recycle, go again, and USA just trying to play catch up on that block.
Volley in front. got here. Nice fight. We keep going. Okay?
So very clear instruction from Brandon Talaferro, and I know this is something that you said you really like. So we know now that Molly McCage is going to be running her routes in front of the setter.
Yeah, and I think that's a good idea, right? If you've got a front court setter, keeping my eyes on it, is the front court setter or is she back court?
I think she's back court, because if not, Sarah Franklin's going to come right up the pipe either way.
So you'd keep Molly in front anyway.
Right, right, because you got Babcock. Eggleston, anything? And absolutely USA cannot make a square with their fingers quickly enough.
Yeah.
It's a challenge.
Did we hear or see anything on the replay? Because I just wonder if that's a frustrated call more than an actual there was a block touch. Were they just thinking we don't want to lose another point, we don't want to be tied up?
Well, right now you are tied up, so let's see if it gets overturned.
Yeah, exactly.
There's Jordan Poulter, gold medalist in 2020 Tokyo Olympics, silver medalist in the 2024 Olympics in Paris.
Yes,
I'm thinking about, again, what they were talking about, Molly keeping her in front. So the idea there is to overload the blockers and make them pay attention to Molly with a quick ball in front, hopefully opening that outside attack up so there's a hole in the block. So it looked like it worked. The question is whether or not there was a touch or not. This one's crucial.
It absolutely is.
Can you
excellent
Can you stop the ball when it's close to the here. Back. Stop when the ball is next to the can.
I'm trying to put myself in the minds of the players down there, because this is a moment where you can't get caught up in whether or not you win this challenge or not. That's really not what's important at the end of the day. You have to focus on what are you doing well, how do you get that first pass going, how do you continue being aggressive, how do you make sure you're putting pressure on the blockers on the other side with the speed of an offense. So if the things that are in their mind right now are the tactics that they've been given by their coaches, all good. If they're worried about whether or not this call gets overturned or not, that's when you're in danger. It's taking a while though, so it must be a hard one to call.
This Czech team, this is the first of 3 matches days. They play Korea and Germany next. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, come on now. Let's see it from the other angle, but I think it's that, is it? That pinky. Oh no. If I make a call, it is the kiss of death. Point Czech.
I would have liked to see it
from
a few different angles, because it's hard from that one. I like to look if the finger makes a funky move if they play it forward or backwards, but
right, and from the back would help.
Yeah.
Or a net cam. Serving that seam between Eggleston and Franklin. Magda in the front court in the middle. Yeah, you better set her. The crowd explodes.
1000%, that's the move. Magda's been hot on that attack, but again, to the point earlier, this was the focus being just dropped by USA on that first contact. Didn't put themselves in a position to run an offense, and the Czech capitalized on it.
I'm gonna come out, dial it in. Again, compete, get after this. Step up, grab the deep. Okay, like we got it. Got anything short? Okay, you get that up. All right, we're good. Okay, we fight here, we fight.
This is about composure for both teams. This is the test that you want to find out week 1. How do we respond under pressure?
Yeah, that's exactly it. These are the moments where the players on both sides have to show what they've done before. Think about what you've done in the gym, how many hours you've put in, all of the reps, and just put that to work. Every point is this, it counts for the same.
If Czech wins this, they get 12.5 world ranking points. USA stay basically even if they win this. Babcock
Babcock has been a delight to watch when she gets that inside set. The blockers really haven't figured out how to move with her. She, at the very last minute, cuts that angle.
Serve is so critical, and it was wrong from the get-go.
USA really cannot afford freebies. I love the way that that has no spin on it. That's the aggression USA wants. But at this stage, can they maybe rely on their block a little bit more? Just force the Czech to play?
It is a great point for sure. Grabowska comes in. She is a setter for this team, but she's not here to set. Valkova is still going to set. She's a tremendous server, the 23-year-old setter. And creating an overpass that somehow Morgan Hentz is able to defend. Czech is 1 point away from their first win ever over the United States.
First win in the VNL as well. This would be huge for this Czech team with a little bit of confidence going forward, especially how this USA team has been fighting. Just looking sideline, I think Eric Sullivan's asking for a challenge.
But there is no request, 8 seconds is... But it's not on the tablet,
I like
no
the look
challenge.
of this ending right now.
Taking their time at the service line. Grabowska, this is for the match. Molly McCage, brave swing out of the middle.
When in doubt, it looks like the USA have been using their middle, forcing it, but it's been working, right? Anytime you can get that middle going, and Magda's there really wanting to press over, but just not enough over the net.
Czech match point number 2, and they're going to call a timeout first. Make Logan Eggleston think about it from the service line.
Okay, you don't need the coach. So, he's saving most of the time over here. Okay, Monza, make sure you come on the TV ready to spice the ball. Buki, you are ready here for the pipe in between.
No, Misha.
It's Michaela, here is Buki.
Yes.
Okay, Buki, when it's high ball, I want you to go here all in. She will commit with her. However you feel, even if it's there, you have to spike here.
The last meeting between these two teams was 2013. This is only the 3rd meeting ever. World ranking points. Czech trying to climb the rankings, 12 points against this team that is USA team that is ranked number 4 in the world. Huge victory on the line for them. Match point number 2 for Czech. And they do it. No, they don't do it. It's out, no touch.
That is a huge moment for USA. The entire crowd was already almost on their feet. And again, go to Magda, right? She's been doing the damage, but good luck.
Eggleston, tough serve. It'll be a free ball to the United States. You got Molly McCage in the middle. Pass is not going to be set because they don't have a setter on the floor. They have gone with a huge lineup with Madison Skinner in. Morgan Hentz will be setting the ball.
This is a huge show for the USA. What a turn.
First match point, Team USA. Pass is good. Is that ball in? It is. Back line.
Man, I love a gutsy swing. And that's exactly what we're getting out of the Czech here. And of course, it's Bukowska. She hasn't backed down all night long, so why would she do it now? And again, the end line is her favorite spot.
They wanted Madison Skinner in for the blocking. They just took her out now. And Sage Kanaya-Torres will run the offense once again. Amber Igidi just came in the middle. We know how effective she can be. The pass is good. Do you go to her? We're going to find out. Magda is magic. Magic under pressure.
Yeah, and I love that both these two teams are feeding their middles even in difficult spots, even when a match is on the line. That's the faith that they have in some really high-level swings.
Bukovska in the backcourt. Maitlova. Outside, Franklin. Can't take anything off it right now. It's all going to be picked up. Milenkovic certainly isn't. It's match point number 3 for Czech.
Yeah, Franklin, you're exactly right. Took a little off. She thought there's a middle in the backcourt. Let's go straight at her. It'll be easy pickings. But it was Magda, and we've talked about her defense and how good it is.
Magda, the miracle worker behind the service line. Now, match point Czech. Pass is great from Eggleston. Franklin, this time, full power.
Yeah, we called it out. I doubt she heard us from up here, but I know that she's thinking, oh, she's kicking herself that she didn't take a full rip the last time. Then she does it, makes up for it.
A coach is not going to get mad at you for taking a full rip in this situation, not at all. Torres' serve is passed perfectly. They go to the middle. Here's a chance. Babcock, always aggressive on the swing. We're back to match point number 2 for the United States.
Yeah, huge defense right there from Eggleston, just sitting in that seam, making her team have another chance.
Great blocking lineup for the United States. Franklin, Igidi, and Babcock, and a spectacular serve out of system. Milenkova, just aggression and intelligence.
So much line available for her. I saw Babcock just waiting. She really wanted this cross-court attack, but Milenkova's so experienced that she sees it early. She can turn that back down the line.
19 points for Magda Milenkova. Branchuska Buskova, 22, 21, and 20. Those are the leading scorers on the floor for either team. Igidi.
That's a little bit of luck for me, but I love Igidi just keeping composure, tipping that over. A less experienced middle might have gone straight into the hands of the blockers because it was slightly high, but that's the place to put it.
Match point number 2 for the United States. Sarah Franklin serving. Serve is good, pass is perfect. Little tip. That's the inexperience, right? Milenkova's crafty experience, and the United States hasn't been in this situation.
Yeah, and just giving them a taste of their own medicine. They got tipped on just moments ago, so there's Milenkova thinking, I'm gonna just give it right back. Babcock reaching back, trying to protect the floor. And I'm loving this back and forth.
The United States led most of the set. Czech didn't lead until it was 12-11. Igidi, feed her. Again and again and again, if the pass is there.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're trying to get her that ball in her window every time, but only when that pass allows it. But I like the way that the USA team has stepped up in their reception.
Babcock, Eggleston on either side of Molly McCage. Both have been very effective. Through the block.
Again, as soon as that discipline just dips ever so slightly in the block, the Czech side are taking advantage of it, because when there's a line to take, when there's a seam available, sure, but if they're going straight into hands, it has to be a block.
Remember how we said this 5th set was only to 15?
Relax.
Well, it's 20 all. Ooh, ball out.
Eggleston was almost drawn into taking it. She looked like she wanted to.
Clean up. Sweat on the floor. Around the campfire is Team USA for the match. It's not up.
We play on and on we go. But you know what? This is exactly what we were talking about when fight has to come into it, when the team has to dig deep, when nothing is handed to them. This is what Coach Sullivan wants to see his team work through and figure out.
Branchuska behind the service line. USA is stacked left. Serving into it. Great pass by Franklin. Yeah, Babcock is aggressive.
She's been nothing if not aggressive this entire time since we've seen her step on the court. Confident swings every single time.
United States, match point again, serving for their first win of Volleyball Nations League 2025. Pass is good. It's Magda again.
I don't think I've ever seen a fifth set where the middle has been so important on both sides. Both these two teams are really trying to feed up those hot hitters. And I mean, Magda has 2 blockers on her. One of them is Molly McCage. Still, she gets up and over and finds the corner. That's just a beautiful work.
She has 4 attack points in this set. Magda does.
And keep going to her. Ajidi's getting the same numbers.
Franklin is picked up by Magda.
We've seen a couple of those. I mean, earlier on when there was just a match point on the table and we saw serves out or in the net, Czech has given a lot of opportunity for USA to close the door.
Match point USA, Molly McCage serving. Sage Kahaina-Torres is front court. That allows Olivia Babcock to be available from the back court. Probably want to go with Igidi or Franklin in your front court though if you can. Oh, that's up, but not recoverable. She's unconscious right now. This woman is unconscious. The 2019 ABCA Freshman of the Year. Just amazing.
Middle on middle crime here. I do love that scrappy defense though, keeping the ball alive just long enough. Didn't go back over, but it's a good sign that USA is making moves for that, getting some hands underneath.
USA fans love Magda. She has played in the professional leagues in the United States since graduating. Franklin, crusher.
Now Franklin learned her lesson early on, not to give a soft roll shot, even if it is Magda in the backcourt. Going for it full throttle that time.
Well, they have played a full set. It is now 24-23, match point, United States. Pass is good. Magda is out of the offense with these passes. Who do you set? Igidi. Franklin loves a sharp cut. Ball is out, and Eric Sullivan asking for a challenge.
I think that's a great time to take it. There has to be a second look at this.
Will they win their first match of Volleyball Nations League 2025 on a block touch challenge?
Hey, I think USA will take it any way they can get it. They have scrapped, dirty, clean, all kinds of volleyball happening in this fifth set alone. So I don't think they're really going to care if they win it on a challenge or not. Yeah, Franklin looks confident.
Match point number 9 for USA.
They got to learn how to close matches, that's for sure. If nothing else, they'll learn that from this competition.
Meanwhile, Czech has had 3 match points.
No, the defender we cannot check.
Can we roll the videotape,
the other
please?
camera. Show me the other camera
go.
because it's a small finger.
I can't tell on that pinky. Is the ball rotating any differently?
So tough to tell. We kind of need that sideline view as well.
Well, it was an unsuccessful challenge. No block touch. Eric Sullivan frustrated. He was asking about the defender.
Oh.
He was asking about the defender, and they looked at block touch.
Oh, that's interesting. That's going to sting if things don't go USA's way. This is one of those moments you look back on and think, what could we have done differently?
Right now for USA, right, they need to let all that go.
Yeah.
We're even at 24. Hence puts it on the money. Sarah Franklin answers the bell.
Yeah, I like how she's responded after that first swing that got dug. She is, in the last 3 swings she's taken, she's gone absolutely lights out.
Eggleston, Igidi, and Babcock in the front court. It is match point for the United States, number 10. Malenkova, not gonna have it.
You've got to give credit to this Czech team being absolutely relentless. They have not backed down. When you go up against that many match points, you might think, all right, let's just give it up at this point, but no way. The aggression coming out of Czech has been phenomenal.
It is 11:30 p.m. here in Rio. This match, 2.5 hours so far. Eggleston. Off the hands and good. Czech will get their 4th match point.
Yeah, the danger here for the USA side was losing patience. They swung a couple times into a big block. Czech's not doing that. They're going high hands into the antenna. They're only swinging at balls that are there to be swung at.
Czech has fought off 10 USA match points to have this opportunity. Eggleston, no touch, and Czech wins their first match ever against the United States.